Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Relix, and today we are going to go over the LA Kings halfway mark of the season. We are also going to go over the last game played for game number 41 against the Dallas Stars, which concluded the LA Kings' road trip. I think it was a 6-game road trip that we unfortunately did not do very well on. So real quick, we're going to go over that first. Kings lost 1-5 in regulation against the Stars. It was kind of even. The Stars obviously got the jump on the Kings in the first period, outshooting the Kings by a good margin and gaining 2 goals in the first period. It's not like the Kings didn't show there was a little bit of effort, but they just didn't play that well defensively. And in the end, the Stars pounced on their opportunities and they got the lead. Going into the second period, the Kings came out with some power plays, and we actually got a goal, making it 1-2. However, that's the most that we got out of it. So congratulations to Doughty, by the way. That one goal for the LA Kings was his 150th goal of his career, and that's just impressive on its own. That is only second to Rob Blake. So congratulations to Doughty for that. He actually played a decent game. Some coughs here and there, but otherwise, another solid game by Doughty, of course. Not saying he always plays perfect. By no means is he ever perfect, for sure. As we're getting older, the Kings only Doughty, Kopi, they're not playing to their best potentials anymore, but, they're still playing pretty high caliber hockey. And so congratulations to Doughty for that. But yeah, the second period, third period, the Stars pounced on the Kings, and in the end, Stars came out with 5 goals and won the game. So, third period for sure, zero effort. It really looked like the Kings gave up after the Stars scored the third goal. So, I think the team, I think the staff, I think everybody involved with the franchise needs to look at the team right now and think about what direction they want to go in. And unfortunately, the past so many games, we've just been losing. I mean, 9 of the last 10 games have been losses. We went on an 8-game losing streak, won in Carolina on Monday, and then lost today, Tuesday, against the Stars. So, something's got to change. It is the complete opposite team that we've seen since the beginning of the season, and that is not good. The Oilers have been winning all their games. In fact, they won against Toronto today. They made a comeback win. So with that win, Edmonton has played the same amount of games as us, and they're only 1 point behind us, and they are in the wild card spot. So that needs to change compared to, if you guys remember from my last quarter season review video, the Oilers were at the bottom of the league. They were one of the worst teams in the league. So, Kings were one of the top. I said in the last video that they could actually win the President's Trophy. That was a dream. Unfortunately, the Kings are now one of the, as of right now, like through the past 21 games, from game 20 to 21, or 21 more games now to 41, Kings are one of the worst teams in the league. Like, that's just insane to think about. And unfortunately, I'm just not seeing the effort. The Kings have been so bad lately. Like, it's so embarrassing for me. But yeah, so I'm gonna close this out. Let's forget about the Stars, and let's take a look. Let's take a look at the Kings. So, in the first 20 games, this is a half-season review now. In the first 20 games, the Kings went 13-4-3. That's great. 29 points on the season. We're one of the league leaders, one of the best in the power rankings. Constantly be talked about. Like, we're just awesome. Then in the last 21 games, 8-5. So that's more losses than wins, and that's even regulation wins and regulation losses. That's really bad. So that's a total of 21 points, bringing us to a record of 21, 12, and 8 for 50 points. So now, at this point, we are still above the 50%, wins and losses. That's including overtime and shootout losses. but that's not good enough. We're third place in the Pacific. It's still there. The hope is still there. But based on the last 10 games, we are going to lose it. And unless something changes, we're just going to keep going downhill. Now, I have to say, I don't blame the goaltending. I think the goaltending has been completely solid. I think Talbot has proved, not only did he get chosen to be an all-star this year, but he has proven that he has control of the net, and I don't deny that. Now, is his stats the best? They're gradually going down with these losses, but goaltending is not an issue. Phoenix Copley got injured in practice, and he had ACL surgery, so he is going to miss the remainder of the season, and unfortunately that sucks, but David Riddick came in, and he's played 3 solid games, 3 solid wins, 2 against the Sharks, 1 against the Carolina Hurricanes. Unfortunately, it's not good enough. We're still losing. So right now, the goaltending is not the issue. To me, it's the skaters. The forwards, yeah, a little bit here and there, but it's the defensemen. It's specifically the defense that is a concern for me, not so much as the forwards. We've shown that we can score goals with the forwards, but the defensemen is where I'm really concerned about, because as far as league-wide, I think the LA Kings have one of the worst D-cores that score goals, yet alone get points. And I don't know that for sure, but based on my observations, of course, I think that's true. Because if I take a look at these stats right now, let's see. As of right now, we got 8 for Doughty, 2 for Roy, which he got recently on this trip, and 1 for England. And 1 for Mike Anderson. So that's what, 12? 12 goals. 12 goals from 4 defensemen. That's it. That's very disappointing. Oh, actually, 13 goals, because I forgot. Some of these stats have not been computed into the 41 games. We're still on 40 games as of today. I'm making the video just after the Dallas Stars lost. So some stats that I'm going to say here in this video and or I see online may be converted and some may not be. So I do apologize for that. But yeah, as of right now, 13 goals, 4 defensemen. That's it. That needs to change. Unfortunately, the Kings' defense sucks, and I think that's the reason why we're doing so bad right now. Again, I went over it in the last video review, the quarter season. Again, Gavrikov, way overpaid for what he's doing. Way overpaid. So, he's not doing good. And unfortunately, I think I said in the last review too, Roy, same thing. Or I said it in a different defenseman video. When Bjornfot was sent down on waivers and Clark brought up Roy, again, same thing. Him and Gavrikov are partners, except they're not doing anything to help the team offensively. Defense is fine and all, but you guys can't just stay defensive. You guys are being paid the money to do more than just defense. That's what Mikey Anderson's being paid to do, right? That's what Andreas Englund is being paid to do. Roy and Gavrikov need to get more offense going, especially since we got rid of Jersey. He was offensive. And apparently, Spence could only get assists, but he is getting assists. And then, obviously, Brent Clark just came up. He's, kind of fresh to the team. I don't blame him for anything he's doing. In fact, in the Dallas game, he actually played really well. So, good job for Clark. Obviously, he did great in the AHL. If you guys didn't see that video, it was, I think it was last week. Go check that out. But yeah. So, continuing on. Let's talk about the New Year record. So, this goes into the last 8 games, right? So, Toronto, to start the new year, 0-3 loss. Detroit, 3-4 shootout loss. Washington, 3-4 loss. Tampa Bay Lightning, 2-3 overtime loss. Florida Panthers, 2-3 overtime loss. Detroit, 3-5 loss. Carolina Hurricanes, 5-2 win. And then tonight, 1-5 loss. So, as you guys heard, a lot of losses, but a lot of 1-goal losses. That's the problem. The Kings are able to take leads, and then they just give up. Going into third periods, the Kings are notorious for going to the 100% defensive shell. That means zero offense. You will not try to shoot and score. You're going defense. You're chipping it out of your zone. You're getting the dump. You're going on a change. Zero offense. And if you guys think otherwise, you guys got to go back and watch those videos. Got to go back and watch the Kings games, and you will see the Kings in third periods just do, when leading, they do not put any more offense. It's just plain to see. Excluding the Hurricanes game where we already had a good offense going, all the losses that we've had in the past 10 games, same thing. Defensive shell, give up the lead, give up the game. And that leads into the overall, outlook of the team. I want to get into that now, actually. Let's take a look at the points for the players. So here's the points roughly on the NHL app. Again, these are as of before the Dallas Stars game. But again, we only got one goal. So the only difference you'll see here is Doughty got his goal, which gives him one more, with Deneau and Kempe. Yeah. So other than those three getting 1 point more, this is your points leaders for the season. Now, at game 20, Kempe and Fiala led the team with 20 each. As you guys can see, they didn't get 20 more in 21 games. So their production has gone down. Now, granted, goal scoring wise, it actually went up. But assist wise, overall production, it went down. Second place at game 20 was Moore and Kopitar with 19 each. As you guys can see, Moore has 31 points, Kopitar has 39. So Kopitar has definitely improved his game. Rightfully so. He is the Kings' leading scorer. He's their captain. He's always been on top. Led scoring every single season except for the season he got injured in which Jeff Carter led. He's always been the best. And I have almost no problems with Kopitar's game throughout the entire season so far, including the last 21 games. I just think he's being underutilized, though. I mentioned it in the season review, or the quarter season review. He needs to shoot more. He needs to shoot more on the power play. He needs to be the guy who needs to shoot, because it is very predictable when we have four left-handed players, one being right-handed, which is Doughty, and Kempe and Fiala are always the guys on the right side, taking the one-time shot on the left hand. You can't keep doing that. You need Kopitar to shoot. Take a wrister, take a snap, take a one-timer, take backdoor, opportunities, rebounds, anything. Kopitar needs to get more. I think he is our best power play player, in which I think Kempe is currently our worst. He keeps missing the net, and that's why his production is just not as high. At game 20, Byfield also had 16 points, Deneau 13, Doughty. So those are forwards wise. You guys can see there on the screen. Byfield picked up his scoring a little bit. He got 14 points in the 21 games. Deneau, he got 15. So it's pretty good as far as the top 6 forwards are concerned. Top 6, not the biggest deal that, again, like I said, Fiala and Kempe have gone down just a couple points here and there. But overall, it's the top 6 that were getting it done. That's great. Defensemen, Doughty had 10, Spence had 9. If you guys look now, Doughty has 22, so he got 12 points. That's actually decent, which he's gotten quite a few goals, actually, in those wins. Wins, going back. Including tonight's loss, he got a goal. Spence had 9 points. He's one of the guys that have fallen. As you guys can see on the screen here, he only has 13 points. He only got 4 points in 21 games. Not only has he been scratched a few times for Clark, but at the same time, he isn't utilizing his shot. He quarterbacks the second power play unit, and unfortunately, it's just not showing up. The second unit is trash. The first unit is doing all the power play work. And of course, lo and behold, it's Dubois' fault, right? That's at least in my opinion. You guys can see on the screen that point-wise, where is the third line? Not entirely sure. So, yeah, it needs to be fixed. That's just the bottom line. Dubois has 19 points there, but up and down the lineup, the Kings have been very sloppy with point production. 19 points for Dubois. That's at game 41. That's halfway through the season. If he keeps up that production, he's only going to have 38 points. We paid this guy 8.5 mil. Oh my god. That is trash. I'm sorry to say this, but worst player on the team right now. My opinion. I just can't believe it. I said that he is one of the X Factor players. I said him and Fiala. And unfortunately, he's not doing it. He sucks. Velarde has almost... I forget if he has more points right now or not. A couple... 3 or 4 days ago, Velarde did have more points than Dubois with the Jets. And that's missing games. So, by that standard, Dubois is trash compared to Velarde. And that's only Velarde, who we traded away. You can include Iafallo and Kupari on that list. And Dubois has he's nowhere close to having that many points. So, that's a disappointment. Yeah. So, yeah, biggest disappointments so far is Dubois, 19 points. Kaliev only got 3 points since the 20-game mark. That's horrible, considering they keep putting him on the power play on the second unit. Spence, again, I said 4 points since then. Gavrikov, he got 6 points in the first half, 6 points in the past 21. So he has 12 points. Great. I know he was injured too, but besides that, he's being paid the second most highest salary for defenseman on the team under Doughty. You got to be second in defenseman points. You got to be second. You got to be up there with Doughty in points. Like, come on. You seriously need to put more offense in, Gavrikov, and unfortunately he's not. So that's the big disappointment. Lewis, Trevor Lewis, and Blake Lizotte both only got 2 points in the past 21 games as well. And if you guys go back to the other video, they were some of the higher point getters on the team because all 4 lines, or first line, second line, and fourth line, were scoring. We had balanced scoring. That's why we were winning so many games. But unfortunately, the fourth line has dried up. And while Lewis and Lizotte do play the best PK on the team, they're not scoring anything. They're not helping the offense. They're not helping us get the win besides just killing penalties. And that's great and all, but unfortunately, they're just not doing enough to help the team get to the next level. And unfortunately, only 2 points each is just too low. It's just too low for me. Now, granted, Lizzie has a little bit of an edge just because he has been injured twice. So, Lizotte has a slight edge in that department. Other than that, everyone needs to pick it up. The bottom 6 players need to pick up their pace and score more goals. If not, just get assists. So those are the points, as you guys can see on the screen. Yeah, some disappointments up and down. Hopefully everyone in the top 6 can, keep producing. So that means Byfield, Kopi, Kempe on the first line, Fiala, Deneau, and Moore on the second line. In fact, Deneau's line has been solid. They have been the best for the past 21 games. I am very proud with their production. I hope they keep it up. So real quick, let's switch over. Let's go over the goals real quick. So here's your goal leaders. Trevor Moore leads the list with 20. That's insane. His previous career high was 17. That was, I think, 2 years ago now. 2 to 3 years ago. So he's leading the team with 20. Obviously, Kempe has 15. But I think, 5 or 6 of those goals for Kempe are empty netters. That's just trash. He's not sniping it. Pai has the most shot attempts on the team, and yet he has the most misses on the team. He needs to hit the net. Either get the rebound shot or score. It's really quite disappointing to see that he keeps missing the net, and every time he misses the net, it just goes out of the zone. You cough up possession, or you cough up all the momentum, and it just ends the attack. Multiple times the past 10 games, it happens, and it really pisses me off. Again, Kopi's up there with 14, Byfield 12. Byfield actually has a huge improvement. Yeah, Byfield wasn't even on my list before. At game 20, I listed down the top 5 scorers, and more Kopi, Kempe, Grunstrom, and Fiala. Fiala had 6. So that means Byfield had 5 or less at that time. Now he has 12. So he actually turned on the goal scoring. But unfortunately, a little bit slowed down. Kopi, Kempe, and Byfield. Past 10 games, been a little quiet, invisible even. Play-wise, good forecheck, but no scoring chances, and unfortunately it's showing a lot right now. So not enough from Fiala. Only 4 goals in the past 21 games. Grunstrom got 0. So again, bottom 6 scorers not scoring. Dubois, he only has 4 goals on the season. Again, he's being paid $8.5 million, and you only have so many goals in the past 21 games. Like, that's so bad. I mean, quite disappointing. And then Kaliev only had 1 as well. So overall, I think the goal scoring is one of the issues for the teams why they can't win the games right now. But again, I think it does rely on the defense, and unfortunately, because the defense can't score goals, we don't get that one extra goal to keep the lead or even take the leads and win the games. Let's switch over to plus minus. So speaking of defense, plus minus wise, not that big of a difference. In fact, at game 20, Kempe had a plus 12, so he only went up. Did I write the right thing? I did not even write the right things on my notes here. But, yeah. So, that is quite interesting. 1 second. Quite interesting. So, actually, these are the updated stats on my screen. So, again, I said earlier that I did not have all the Dallas Stars stats recorded into these my notes. So actually what you see on screen is actually the plus minus leaders. Kempe had a plus 12 at game 20. Now he has a 13. Kopi had a plus 11. Now he has 12. So they've only gone up by 1s. The biggest thing I want to mention is Fiala and Dubois. So at game 20, they were the only 2 players on the team. The only 2 players on the team at game 20 to have a minus. Dubois had a -1, and Fiala had a -4. Fiala, obviously a bigger minus because of empty net situations, and because he played a lot more recklessly. That's actually changed quite a bit. So, Fiala, very proud of. He has shown to, obviously still taking a lot of penalties, but he has shown to mature a little bit and help with the scoring as well as the defense. His back checking has improved tremendously since last season. And his plus minus is now actually a -1. So he went from a -4, team leading -4, to a -1. So that's really good in a matter of speaking because of the way the Kings have been losing. So technically that's great, but obviously we want to get into the plus. Again, another huge improvement is from Deneau. He had a +2, one of the lowest. I harped on him for having a low plus minus because he wasn't scoring enough. He actually has a +8 now. So he's, like I said, second line has been scoring. Deneau, Moore, and Fiala. They've been improving. They've been getting better. And I'm very happy for that. Another disappointment is from Laferriere. He had a +1 at game 20. He now has a -3. Again, he is Dubois' winger. They are the duo. I mentioned in the last review that each line has a duo. First line was Kopitar and Kempe. Second line was Moore and Deneau. Third line is Dubois and Laferriere. Fourth line is Lizotte and Lewis. And lo and behold, Dubois and Laferriere have the worst plus minus. So Dubois has a -10 right now. Second only to Laferriere, who has a -3. Yeah. If you take a look at the other minuses, it's Fiala -1, Moverari, who's only played 5 games, -2 or -1, Clark -2, which he's only played 2 games, so 3 games actually. So yeah, Dubois -10. Again, this is not including the Dallas game, so actually He should maybe have, I think, a minus 12 as of right now. Minus 12 on the season. Getting paid 8.5. You're trash. Again, I just got to reinforce it that Pierre-Luc Dubois is just not good. He's not fit for the team. If the Kings can do anything about it, please trade him away. I don't care about him. I don't want him on the team. He has proven that he cannot play NHL hockey right now. I don't know why, but he just can't. He really can't. His plus minus is atrocious. He's slow. He has no hustle. He has no effort. He has no shot. And if you guys look at Corsi stats, I don't know, I don't look at those things. But if you do and you see anything on Corsi stats, I bet you Dubois has probably the worst possession numbers and probably has the most giveaways. My opinion. Not saying it's true, but it's probably true. Because honestly, when I'm watching the game, if he has the puck, he's literally the first one to lose the puck to the opponent. They don't even have to do anything. He'll just skate right into their sticks and turn over the puck. So that's something I've noticed. Obviously, I'm just one guy. Take it, what I say, what you will. But yeah, that's one of the things I need to talk about, and it's Dubois' disappointment coming to this team. Everyone says that the Kings have one of the best center line depths of the league. I tend to disagree. I thought Lizotte should have been our third line center this season, and unfortunately that's not the case. Obviously Lizotte's out now, so Lewis is taking the center spot while he's out. Honestly, we're looking pretty sad. Pretty much we only have Kopitar and Deneau. Real quick, I just want to go over the face-off percentages. Kopi 55, Deneau 51, Dubois 49, Lizotte 48, and Lewis 41%. Now, the thing about Lizotte's face-off percentage is, he's smaller, and I did praise that he can win face-offs. Unfortunately, with these losses, everyone's face-offs have been going down a lot lately, except for Deneau's. He's actually been probably the most stable throughout the season. But Kopi, obviously 55%, that's great. He's one of the higher tier face-off percentages in the league right now. Obviously, Crosby leading with a 60%. That's pretty insane for him. But yeah, Dubois can't win face-offs. Below 50%, has been below 50%. He has gotten better, I will say that. Dubois, from the beginning of the season to now, has gotten better in the face-off dot. However, it's not good enough as of right now. It's not getting us wins. Again, face-offs are one thing. Showing up to perform is another. Lastly, I just want to go over the penalty minutes real quick. So, this is just going to add into the fact that, one, the Kings have the best PK in the league as of right now, which is great. It's great to be a number one PK team. But it's how you're getting there that sucks. And the Kings take a lot of penalties. If you guys look at the list here, England had 29 at game 20. He has 48 now, so he still leads the team. But the next penalty getters at game 20 were Dubois 18, Fiala 16, Kempe 16. So that right there continues, because who's next? Kempe 42. Couple fights probably, I'm not entirely sure. Then Fiala 40, again taking a ton of penalties. And then Doughty actually took quite a bit. He went from 10 penalty minutes to 28, and that's not fighting. Those are all minor penalties. Laferriere, he had 9 penalty minutes, including a fight, so that's technically 2 minor penalties. Now he has 24 minutes. It's not going good. And someone that I actually have to highlight here is Matt Roy. He's the top on the right side. He's tied for 9. He took 0 penalties. So I will give him credit where credit is due. I do harp on him and Gavrikov. He took 0 penalties in the past 21 games. So congratulations to you, Roy. Thank you for not taking a penalty. Thank you so much for that. Unfortunately, your offense sucks still, and your defense is not that great. But he does lead the team in, I think it was block shots or hits. It was block shots. So he does lead the team in block shots. That's great. But again, if you guys watched the Dallas game today, I would say otherwise. He was actually one of the guys who turned over the puck and got a goal against. But overall, I don't think Roy is doing enough for the team as well to consider himself out of, the hole that we've dug. So, yeah. But overall, again, penalty minutes, guys gotta stop taking penalties, especially ones that are just selfish. Selfish penalties suck. Fiala and Kempe are two of the guys who are taking way too many, especially Fiala. Again, I think amongst the league leading penalty takers, if you exclude all the goons who go into fights all the time, I think Fiala is still one of the top 10 minor penalty takers, because none of those are fights. I don't think, none of these penalties for Fiala is fights. So that's 20 minor penalties right there. I don't know what to tell you. He's got to stop taking penalties if we want to win games. So that's all the stats I really have to talk about right there. My final thoughts on the team right now is we're just not looking good. Passing sucks. Breakouts are okay. Breakouts to the neutral zone are okay. It's when we get to the red line where we can't dump it in, and if we do, we just give up possession. There's no hustle to get into the offensive zone and pick up pucks. There's no battle, in the Kings right now. It's like just dump and chase, just be done with it, and then go change. It's like no one's really putting the effort to say, I want to be the guy. I want to be the hero who takes over the team and leads us to the playoffs. No one wants to be that guy right now. Zero. I mean, nobody. I don't see anyone on the team. Normally, I'd be like, oh yeah, Lizott's hardworking. He's the Energizer Bunny guy. He's going to, make us work harder. I'm not seeing it right now. Obviously, he's injured now. Kopitar, a solid performance up and down the ice, but nothing to show that it's like, yes, I am going to be the captain. I'm going to lead the team to a victory. That goes for everyone. Literally everyone. Kempe, Byfield, Doughty, everyone. No one's showing up and saying, I want to be the guy. I think if I had to choose one of the closest, it's probably Trevor Moore. Not just because he's leading the goals, but he probably is putting the most effort in right now. That's overall okay. Again, I mentioned in the last season review or quarter season review that he could have a 70-point season, and as of right now, what is he at? He's at 31, halfway, 60 points. A little disappointing. Again, I said he could have had a 70-point. He's only have a 60-point at this rate. But if everyone could pick up their game just a little bit, again, we're losing by 1-goal games. Just pick up the pace just a little bit more hustle, a little bit more effort, and we'll make the lead. We'll keep the lead and win the games, even if it's in overtime and shootouts. Just get that extra point. It sucks that we keep losing those extra points. But yeah, I just wanted to reinforce that over this road trip, we actually went. What is that? We actually went 1-3-1-1. Sorry, 1-3-2. Sorry, 1-3-2 over the past 6-game road trip. So it's not bad. We got, what was that? 4 points out of the past 6 games. It's not bad, but definitely could have been better. Let's just look at the standings to finish off this video. So let's take a look at the West. Obviously, oh shoot, I did not fix that. Hello. My apologies, guys. I will fix that real quick. If I had this one set, I guess I did not. There you go. So as you guys can see, the Kings are right up there. Sorry, we're looking at the Pacific at the bottom of the screen. My apologies. I did not divide it by the wild card, but as you guys can see, this one does include our loss to the Dallas Stars. It does not include the Edmonton Oilers win against the Maple Leafs. So you guys can see that they are only going to be 1 point behind us with 1 game in hand as of right now. That's disappointing to say, considering that they were at the bottom of the league. Vancouver still winning a ton of games. They are absolutely amazing. I think they are on fire. You guys can see on the far right side of the screen our last 10 games for all the teams. Again, Vancouver 7-2-1. That's absolutely amazing. Both the Kings and the Golden Knights have been losing some games here and there. Obviously, the Kings more so. And the Oilers with their win today, that is 11 straight wins. For again, the 10 was a franchise breaking record, and now it's 11. They said it again. So, and the Kraken too. They are winning their games 8-2 in the last 10. They are also coming back. Hard to say if the Kings will be able to keep their spot in the Pacific Division. We may be bumped down to the wild card, which is currently where the Oilers are. And if you guys look at the Central, you got the Jets, leading the league. By the way, leading the league in points, so that's amazing. Colorado's right there behind them. Obviously, that's a no-brainer. And then, of course, with the win, Dallas Stars is solidifying their third place. And then you go to Nashville. They're okay. They hold the other wild card spot right now. The Coyotes trying to get back in. They haven't made the playoffs since we kicked them out in 2012 when we won the Cup. So, sad for them. And then, obviously, you see at the very bottom, Blackhawks, they lost Bedard. Zero hope of anything happening, right? I mean, if you guys have seen their lineup, I think all of their mainline NHL players are literally injured right now. So, yeah, Blackhawks fans, I do apologize for you guys, but unfortunately, your team built a bad team, and there's no one supporting Bedard right now. There's no one built around Bedard even. I think your future is looking a little bleak for the next few years. Hopefully you guys don't waste the talent with Bedard, but it's just the way it looks. Obviously, Connor McDavid and the Oilers are rocking it, so from one Connor to the other, obviously I don't wish them all the best, but I wish Bedard a speedy recovery, and of course, I love to watch McDavid play. He's amazing, and maybe maybe tone it down. Don't win so many games by as a team effort. How about just McDavid and Draisaitl, right? Rather just see that. So that's the West. Let's look at the East. Oops, not that one. Let's look at the East real quick. So I will also have to fix this as well. Do apologize for that. There we go. So the East, Bruins, no brainer that they'd be still on the top. I did mention the last quarter season review that they were still on the top. A little bit surprising considering they lost Krejci and Bergeron. But again, it's a no-brainer because they are one of the top teams in the league, have been for years, and I'm happy to say that I am one of their bigger fans. After the Kings, Bruins are definitely up there as far as teams I like to watch. Panthers, Maple Leafs, they're scoring, they're getting it done, and then that's in the Atlantic. Go down to the Metropolitan, Rangers. I think they could be doing better. They were league leading at one point, but they've fallen in a couple games here and there. Quick was one of the best goalies in the league, and unfortunately he's lost all of his past 4 games. I don't know if that's a goaltender issue or if that's a player issue, but unfortunately Quick has fallen so hard. Shesterkin is also falling. So again, Rangers, they've lost quite a few games. Flyers, they made a big comeback, surprisingly. They also got Jamie Drysdale. I wonder how he's doing. I have to look that up. Hurricanes also making a big comeback as well. They're getting their players healthy and scoring a lot. Penguins, same thing. Capitals have been pushed down. So big surprises here and there. Am I really focused on this side? Not really. Again, I'm Kings. I watch the West. And unfortunately, everything's just going wrong for us. But we did go on an East Coast, road trip, so we should have picked up some points here and there. Especially against teams that just don't matter. Those overtime wins and losses. It's great that we lost to them in the matter of that we didn't give them ground over us in the West, but we gotta win those games. Especially against some of the bottom teams. Like the Islanders, the Devils, those guys, we gotta beat them. That's the bottom line. Even the Lightning, they've been losing their games without all their key players being healthy. It's like we should have won. Detroit, same thing. We should have won. Unfortunately, we just didn't. And again, we're just coming up short by 1-goal games here and there. Yeah. So let's just recap real quick. We've been losing. Not the same start that it's not the same 20 games that we had in the first 20. So we're kind of in the mix, but not really. Unless the Kings start winning, we're just gonna keep losing. Oilers are gonna kick us out. Kraken are gonna kick us out. We're not gonna make playoffs. Looking forward. I am looking for the Kings to improve defensively. Again, I'm not concerned about the skaters or the forwards as much as the defensemen. Again, not worried about the goaltending whatsoever. Zero concerns there. The defensemen, they need to score more. Doughty's the only one who's scoring goals. Spence has to show up and score goals. If not Spence, Brant Clark has to do it, because one of them needs to do it, because those two basically got Durzi kicked off the team. Okay, I would have preferred if Roy left. He sucks, but unfortunately the Kings organization saw something else. Again, Durzi is Coyotes' number 1 D. He has more points than all of our D, and that's sad. He has more points than Doughty. We could have had him, and he would have been the cheapest defenseman on the team, no less. So keep that in mind. Just keep that one in mind. I'm so upset that Dubois was on our team now. Yeah. So defensemen need to pick up the goal scoring. If not, get more assists, get more points in general. They need to help the offense. Again, Kopi, Kempe, and Byfield need to pick it up a little bit more. They've been struggling the past so many games that we've been losing. They need to pick it up a little bit more, specifically Kempe. He needs to be a 20-goal scorer. What is it? We're halfway through January. By the end of January, he better be a 20-goal scorer. If he isn't, I wouldn't be surprised if we are out of the playoffs at that point. Again, quarter season review, I would do it, end of February, I think? Perhaps? I'm not even sure. We'll see. Oh, I forgot about the All-Star game coming up, so maybe even March. Again, second line, Deneau, Fiala, and Moore. Keep up the pace. You guys are leading the team. I'm very proud of how they've been playing. Can't really say anything wrong with their play throughout the past so many losses. I think they are putting the most effort in. No complaints whatsoever, except for Fiala taking some selfish penalties. Obviously, third line, Laferriere, Dubois, and whoever is playing that wing on their third line with them, that line sucks. That line needs to pick it up. I know that Dubois has been playing better in the past, 5 games, because he has been scoring with Laferriere. But those last 5 games don't make up the rest of the 36 games throughout the season. It doesn't. You're being paid $8.5 million, Dubois. You need to score more. You need to be literally top 5 in scoring on the team. And if you aren't doing that, you shouldn't be on the team. You should be scratched. Let someone else play. And then obviously fourth line, Lizott's injured. We don't know the status of his injury, so it's probably going to be week to week, considering they recalled Fogimo from the AHL, and he is one of the best AHL goal scorers. Now, Fogimo coming up, he better trust his shot. Again, I haven't seen it. We have not seen Fogimo play to his highest potential yet. He's still young, but at the same time, that's when players should be doing the better, right? I mean, look at all the first round draft picks. They come in, they score. I think anyone could really be that guy if you really just trust yourself. I said it to begin the season. Grundstrom, Kaliev, trust their shots, and they did. They were scoring in the beginning of the season, but lately, no one is trusting themselves. No one is believing in their shots, and we're not scoring anymore. And I think if the bottom 6 can get a goal, 1 goal a game, bottom 6, that's Dubois, Laferriere, Grundstrom, Kaliev, Lizotte, Lewis, and Anderson Dolan, and whoever else, is playing on the bottom 6 roles. If they can just get 1 goal per game to help the top 6, I think we'll win more games. Unfortunately, they're just not doing it. So, that's what I think about, the team going forward. Again, defensemen need to pitch in. Goaltending solid. Could be better, but it is what it is. I heard some people say there's trade rumors about the Kings going out and getting a better goalie. I don't see why that would even be a thing, considering that Talbot is our all-star selection. His numbers are solid. Not to mention Riddick has won his games. So it's not like we need to go get a goalie. That's not the concern now. So whatever trade rumors you hear at this point about goaltending, don't believe it. That's just pretty stupid to think about. If anything, you got to go get a D. Get rid of Dubois. Get a defenseman. If you're going to go down any route, get a defenseman that can score. Because at this point, we're just handing away free money to Dubois for nothing. We could literally have had Velarde and Iafallo for a cheaper price and still have the same amount of production. That's how bad it is. So, yeah. I think that's it. I think that's it for this season, half-season review. I really don't know what else to tell you. Yeah, so that's it. 41 games in the books, 41 to go. Kings are kind of barely hanging on to their playoff spot. I want to see more from them. Again, like I said, the effort is not there. The heart is not there. They need to play better. Obviously, again, I will reiterate, I'm just one guy. One guy who analyzes this stuff. I look at the games I watch, which I watch every single game. I look at the stats. I watch reviews. I watch commentaries from other broadcasts, other analyst shows. I think what I have to say is pretty relevant, as far as what I say and the players do, it works out for the team. And then what I say and they don't do, it makes them lose. So to me, I think I believe I know what I'm talking about, and I hope you guys also see it that way too. But again, this is just my opinions, my comments. Take of it what you will. If you guys have anything else to say, maybe you guys disagree with me, maybe you agree with me. I don't know. Let me know. Let me know in the comments section what you guys think about the Kings. I just think they need to put more effort in. More effort is required in order to, get us to the next level. If you take the Hurricanes game from yesterday, in my case, I thought our performance in that game at the end was phenomenal. We kept up the pressure, we kept up the offense, we didn't really back down. Even 2 games ago against Detroit, we were down. And we tried to come back with the power plays in the third period. The end of the third period in Detroit was probably the best effort I've seen the Kings play in the past so many games during this losing streak. So, if the Kings played as hard as they did in the end of that Detroit game, throughout all of these games, we would be winning so much more. I mean, I would think you would think the players would believe in themselves to play like playoff hockey. You don't have to play playoff hockey like every single game, but make it close. Put your effort in. If you think your line mates aren't playing so good, be the guy who wants to play better and show the coach, I want to be the next guy. I want to be the guy who gets us that win. I wonder if the players do think that way sometimes, and try to get the win for them, not for their teammates, but for themselves, But that's just my opinion. Obviously, I don't know what goes through the minds of the players. I've never been on the ice as a hockey player. I just hope that the Kings will pull off a miracle and improve, And if they can just, like I said, put in a little bit more effort, sprinkle it here and there from everybody, I think the team will start winning games again. But as of right now, it's looking a little bleak. Again, it's only half the way through the season. We're in a good spot on the playoffs. Hopefully with the All-Star break coming in the next couple of weeks, the team will improve. Maybe the break will help. Well, we'll see. We will see. So that's all I have. That's all I have to talk about. I know this was probably a little bit longer than you guys wanted, probably a little bit longer than I wanted it to go, but I had a lot to say. And if you guys enjoyed it, hit the like button. Helps me out. And again, like I said before, comment down below. Do you guys agree? Do you guys disagree with what I have to say? Let me know what you guys are thinking. Let me know if you guys think the Kings are doing something wrong, something right. I want to hear from you guys. I want to know what you guys have to say, especially you guys who are Kings fans. If you guys are from other teams, great. But if you guys are Kings fans, let me know. Do you think I'm crazy? Do you think I don't know what I'm talking about? Let me know if you guys, might think differently. I want to know. And of course, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Again, I've done a quarter season review. Go ahead and watch that if you haven't already. Compare it to this one. Look at the stats. This is the halfway, and then we're going to do a third quarter, and then the final. And if the Kings are in the playoffs, again, we're going to the playoffs. We'll do more videos. I have other videos, individual game moments. I do multiple videos throughout the season, as well as other gaming stuff as well. So, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a great day. Obviously, hopefully the Kings can improve, because I want to see it. I'm a Kings fan through and through. Kings stuff. If you guys haven't seen all my attire, all my videos, I'm wearing Kings something. So I'm always cheering for Kings. I'm reading Kings. Studying Kings. I want them to do good. I know I'm being harsh on them right now, even though we're in a playoff spot. But I'm being harsh on some of these players because I want them to do better. I wanted them to actually win the President's Trophy at the end of the season. I said that in the quarter season review. It's not happening anymore. It's impossible. So, the best I could hope for is just make the playoffs. And whoever we play in the first round, let's make it past the first round. So, one step at a time, right? So, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Have a great day. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.